This is Cybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Secret Shrine, and in the north as the Purple Soviets, this is VodkOo. And in the south as the Red, also playing Soviets, this is DrTema. Old Dr. T versus VodkOo. Now, what is the context of this game? I don't really know, but the person who emailed it to me said that this was from a Russian Red Alert 3 tournament, and I saw that it was on Secret Shrine, and I am super digging both of those things. So this is perhaps a really solid competitive game, but best of all, it is on a map that I've only seen one real competitive game on, and that was between Waff the Wolf and Vindies in the show match that I made them play. I made them play a bunch of weirdo maps, and this was one of them. I love the inclusion of this sentry gun paused at 99%. If an attack comes in, something that you're not expecting, you've got the sentry gun there and waiting. But when your Stingray meets your opponent's Stingray literally in the middle of the map, you know that the two of you are doing the exact same thing. It looks like he is going to save that for a moment. Stingray Overcharge goes off, and that was a total win for DrTema. Anytime in a mirror matchup you get a win like that, you are going to be feeling great for the next minute or so. You know you've got the numbers advantage, assuming your production hasn't slipped already and your macro hasn't failed you. You know you've got the numbers advantage, and it kind of loosens you up to do anything that you want. There's the cancel of the sentry gun. DrTema, he's got his bullfrog out as well, so he is worried about, I don't know, why does he have a bullfrog this early against a Soviet player? I legitimately don't know. It might just be a cannon fodder situation, or that might be a misclick. By the way, big thanks to the folks who support the channel over on Patreon, such as Oz Media, Mediastorm, Deadly Shadow, Anoxic, Spud, Josh C, and Freddie. Big thanks to those guys, as well as Chris A, Abalaba, Az109, Autark C, and Mr. Calhoun. Couple of Terror drones are here. Overcharge does fire off, takes out down one of the Terror drones, but not the other one. Sold off the Naval Yard and went for the War Factory. Meanwhile, DrTema keeps around his Naval Yard and also just pulls back his weakened Stingray. 2 Terror drones are here. A third has emerged as well, but it's going to be heading over the land route. More Stingrays are on their way. DrTema is keeping up the aggression from his Naval Yard. It seems like Terror drones are a pretty effective tool, but it's low cash, it seems, for VodkOo, who's going to be now with an additional Stingray here, is going to have a little bit of a harder time keeping these Stingrays at bay. Third Terror drone not being brought into the fight. This guy's microing somewhere else. He does get the infect on the Harvester in the south, and that's why he wasn't paying attention back at home. He does get one infect, but how much will he lose as compensation for that one Harvester kill in the south? And it looks like it will be a Harvester kill as the MCV has walked a pretty far distance away. Super Reactor into the corner. VodkOo definitely struggling to keep up with this game, but now with the Hammer Tank out, he's going to be able to clear out at least some of these Stingrays. Maybe not all of them, as they close the distance between them and the Hammer Tank and do some critical damage. The Hammer Tank is going to be forced away, and the Harvester does get cleared. The Crusher Crane unneeded in this moment, but the Harvester is offline for the next minute or so. Hammer Tank going to take a little bit of damage before finally that Stingray does go down, and that is now half of a Tesla tank out on the field. You love to see it, and it's not one of those things that you get to see very often. Crusher Crane a little bit too far away from that Harvester to actually heal it up, and no third refinery just yet. The Super Reactor will provide the build radius, and it looks like it's going to... Oh, that was almost a super fast Tier 3 as well from DrTema, who has a fantastic opening here on Secret Shrine. Hammer Tank's up to the high ground for VodkOo, though. And VodkOo not going for a third refinery just yet. Now, this is one of those maps that does spread out very far. It is a big, awkward map to navigate. It is not the sort of thing that you get a lot of practice playing, and it really makes a map like Infinity Isle, Battle-Based Beta, or Fire Island. All of those maps seem very straightforward with all of the different levels of terrain, but also the water and just the general layout of this map. The number of destructible bridges that can cut off huge sections of the map except for the water access. Stingrays coming in. Terror drones from VodkOo still keeping this army at bay. One hammer tank maybe is going to be getting turned around, but the others are going to have to fight this Tesla coil, which again has been paused at like 99% completion. Hopefully DrTema keeps that online. He's going to need it in a couple of moments. He does let it finish, and there these hammer tanks have earned some kind of value just by forcing the finishing of that Tesla coil. Keeping defenses paused at 99% is definitely something that can be a lot of value for a player in a competitive game, but it can also be one of those situations where you just always have cash tied up in these build queues that you can't really use. So depending on the player that you are and the map that you're in, it may work out or it may not be super beneficial. In this case, that Tesla coil is just kind of useless. It's so far away. Even this Tesla coil is not going to be super useful as the Stingrays are making their assault in the north. This Terror drone is coming in to get the infect on the Harvester somewhere, and the satellites are going to miss. The RNG almost landing on the hammer tank in the south. Meanwhile, Stingrays in the north, they're going to be trading evenly with these two hammer tanks in the north as well. Terror drone does get an infect. Third hammer tank does show up. Stingrays should be enough to deal with it. Nice overcharge there as that Tesla surge takes care of the Terror drone inside of that Stingray. Refinery goes down. Harvester is protected. Flax and a couple of conscripts going to be going for the kill on this Terror drone. Battle Lab going to be blocking it in, and they should be able to get the kill on the Terror drone. Nicely done, and they can even garrison up one of those buildings. Stingrays are going to be the defense, but the Tesla coil gets two hammer tank kills right on the edge of the base there, and the Terror drone has nowhere that it can really safely infect. With the Crusher Crane so nearby, it would be useless to infect anything. This did buy VodkOo a decent amount of time to get a third refinery up in the corner. This is the far away spot. If these guys were going airfield, if they had twin blades, it would be an obvious target to hit and run. But Stingrays just take such a long time to get across the map. They can drive up there eventually, but they're going to have to climb all the way out of the water, up these two hills, and it is going to be an arduous task. Now, even if you had a couple of twin blades, the flak troopers might be necessary to really break a location like that, because obviously if you have twin blades, your opponent is probably going to get a flak cannon, and then that requires you to get flak troopers as well, and now it's suddenly a much more expensive harassment. But it is so far separated from the ground army of your opponent that that base is pretty easy to hit. The buildings around this one make it a bit more defensible, but that Tier 3 and that super reactor make it a very obvious choice for an attack. It would be a huge reset if VodkOo was able to clean out that section of the map. Hammer tanks clearing out this refinery was a huge win for VodkOo, but ultimately he did expend 3, maybe 4 hammer tanks to kill off one refinery. And that probably has, by this point, paid dividends, but that was a costly attack, and it has mostly reset the game board, but not completely, as the Tier 3 comes in a bit sooner for DrTema, and VodkOo is still largely on the defense. 2 Terror drones on the left side of the map, sneaking their way around, but not committing to any attack just yet. Bridges are being collapsed. Flak troopers are going to bring this one down in the middle, and there are still 2 more bridges off to the side. Wait, what are these flak troopers doing? They switched over to their mines. They are not actually mining that bridge just yet. MCV, even if it gets infected, the Crusher Crane is more than close enough. Terror drone will go for the scout. He's going to be able to see, hey, this bridge is down. Second bridge just gets cleaned up there. Those flak troopers do eliminate it. Maybe one of the flak troopers went down with it. And it looks like that Terror drone caught between a rock and a hard place is going to be camped out. But he's going to call in the satellites. Will force the sale of that reactor. Or might just lose the reactor. Yeah, reactor goes down. So a nice reactor kill. Going to replace it immediately. No harassment, but twin blades are now an option. VodkOo going for the airfield, and no airfield just yet, but dreadnoughts are on the map. That naval yard was never sold off. It was never canceled like it was for VodkOo, and the result is dreadnoughts now enter the game. A couple of conscripts going to be closing in. They will at least force that Terror drone off the line. The Harvester has not gotten back to work just yet, but this dreadnought is going to be protected by these Stingrays. It's going to be up to the twin blades to really close the distance and get the kill there. TerraDrone not finding many safe spots to be able to get back to work, and that Harvester is still offline, so that's a pretty big win regardless. Even without killing off the Harvester, that's still a pretty good win. Satellite's going to be getting called down. That's going to help this Dreadnought break this location. The Harvester goes down, and the Refinery should be quick to follow. Second Dreadnought is here. The TerraDrone gets the infect, and that might have even been a bait as that Dreadnought moves forward and gets the kill on that TerraDrone. No Bullfrogs on the ground, or on the water rather, as this Dreadnought is going to get infected. The Twin Blade and the TerraDrone joining forces to clean that up. With Stingrays present, a TerraDrone infection is not that big of a deal, and there goes the Dreadnought. VodkOo trades out a V4 for a Dreadnought, and that is a trade he will take any day of the week. Reforming the front line, both of these players well familiar with the stages of the game. They seem to be transitioning quite nicely, and the harassment from VodkOo has been just enough to keep him in this game and keep him relevant, despite the fact that their openings were a bit one-sided. DrTema got the better half of the first part of this game, and VodkOo seems to be keeping pace in the middle of the match. 2 Dreadnoughts do still remain, 4 Hammer Tanks, 3 or 4 Sickles also. War Factory going to be getting hit. There's not an infinite number of Stingrays, so TerraDrones can be annoying, but ultimately I don't expect the TerraDrone to ever get a kill on that Dreadnought. A couple of more missiles will be the end of that War Factory. Dreadnought is going to be able to land a shot. V4s and Sickles all getting airlifted. Not something that you see very often, but a tactic that I'm glad to witness. All right, this War Factory is going to be over. No more units will be produced from it. A big tech reset coming in here. No more production from that War Factory, and it's going to be up to these Sickles and these V4s to try and break, I guess, that bottom left corner of the map. TerraDrone, once again, getting the lockdown on the Dreadnought. Not going to stop it, although I've never seen a Hammer Tank get a Dreadnought weapon. So honestly, I just want to see it for purely that reason and nothing else. Hammer Tank going down. There goes our Tesla boy. Or no, actually, our Tesla boy is in the top. And Stingray is going to be able to get the kill on the others. This is going to be a Hail Mary in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. This army just about has to win the game for VodkOo. He does have his MCV in the top left-hand corner. He is actually moving down through the middle of the map, so he is going to be moving his MCV into position, but this will not stop this Dreadnought Armada, which is on the doorstep of his base. V4 is going to be targeting down the super reactor. They get hit down below half health. No engineer will be able to save it, and there's the sell-off. This hit squad of V4s, Sickles, and Twin Blades is going to bring the bottom left-hand corner of the map to its knees, restarting the super reactor in the bottom right-hand corner. And look at this, there is just no army nearby to deal with this attack. If you don't have air units, it's so difficult to navigate on this map. Super reactor for a super reactor, V4s versus Dreadnoughts. The fight is artillery-based, and that is what is going to be doing most of the damage here. Harvester does go down. Stingrays are going to be sacrificed if these Dreadnoughts get too many more missiles before the Stingrays exit. Twin Blade's going to be targeting down the reactor in the south, trying to make short work of that base. Stingray's going to be taking down the Tier 3. Meanwhile, the Dreadnought will finish off that super reactor. Doesn't take the refinery with it, but the Tier 3 does go down. Meanwhile, on the south side of the map, it's going to be the Twin Blades clearing out almost everything. The V4 and the Dreadnoughts joining, or the V4 and the Sickles joining the fight as well. Satellites get called in, a little bit of splash on that refinery, but that is going to pretty much be it for both main bases. A fully heroic Stingray out on the field. The MCV is under threat. It is in range of these Dreadnoughts, of these DrTema units. No flak cannon in the south. That's a dangerous spot to be without a flak cannon against someone who has Twin Blades. No TerraDrone to stasis this MCV. It's just going to be able to walk away. Oh no, it stops moving! The Stingrays are going to be able to close the distance. They'll get a couple of shots. Hopefully they don't get nuked by their own Dreadnought. All right, taking a little bit of splash damage there, but it's not the end of the world. Terror Drone is on its way out. It's going to meet this MCV, and this stupid Dreadnought is hitting its own Stingrays. And here is going to be the Stasis, and the Stingrays may end up dying to the Dreadnought splash damage. But, oh my gosh, so close to going down. The Twin Blades show up, but it's too little, too late. The fully heroic Stingray gets the kill on the Terror Drone as it spawns in. The Twin Blade goes down, and DrTema is going to be able to take this game. VodkOo put up an amazing fight and almost was able to come back from that terrible opening, but it is just about over for him. His Twin Blades are still wreaking havoc. I cannot believe that they have completely caught this MCV pretty much exposed, and now this MCV just needs to get out of dodge. It needs to pack up and leave town. I think he's trying to get a Crusher Crane up somewhere. No, he was trying to get a War Factory up, but he loses the MCV. I can't believe that those Twin Blades were able to crush that with the help of those V4s, and literally nothing was produced to stop it. That army just running rampant through the map. VodkOo now going to be pulling back. He's going to try and make one last-ditch effort, but without a War Factory and without an MCV, both of these players are both in terrible, terrible spots. The satellites didn't kill the airfield, but these bullfrogs can absolutely eviscerate any air units that spawn in. Flak Troopers crossing the map, and I think DrTema will still take it. But man, VodkOo might, if he just commits down to the bottom left-hand corner, he could actually win this. It's essentially a base race at this situation. 2 Stingrays, 3 Stingrays. They're actually going to be able to catch all of the Stingrays. I may have spoken too soon. DrTema is not safe. He's got 2 fully heroic Stingrays going to be blasting down this airfield, blasting down that refinery. Where are the Twin Blades? Where are the Twin Blades? Oh no, the Twin Blades! They're gonna miss the opportunity to kill these. Okay, the Stingrays I think will go down in time. It's gonna be close regardless. The Bullfrogs show up. The Bullfrogs will not be stopped. The Bullfrogs will win the game for DrTema. The last Stingray barely survives. And that's it. That's game. VodkOo has 1 building left, and it's being brought down by the power of the Stingray. What a crazy match here on Spring Fever. What is this map? I don't even know, but that was an absolutely insane Soviet versus Soviet. I completely forgot about those V4s and those Twin Blades, and what a match that turned into. VodkOo almost coming out ahead. Those Bullfrogs got him in the end, though, and that will do it for this game. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Cyber signing out.